Okay, we continue with Mulefes Sappirim. All right, entry Membeis on the part that was meant to be for the third day. This book was meant to be on a 30-day cycle. So Yom HaShlishi, entry Membeis, B'Sefer Shmos, Daf Kufi Beis, Amid Beis, also in the Zohar and Shmos, Daf Kufi Beis Beis, Malash Shlomo of Shom, talks about the high levels, of Shlomo Melech, Shemchol Yom HaMashke Bok of Sampra of Klape Mizrach, they would get up early in the morning, look towards the east, and he saw whatever he saw. He had his revelations. V'chozer, and then he turned around. He turned his eyes towards the north. Yosef Sham, he sat there, and Mashpeleinov, right, and he put his eyes down. Ubosa Shah, and at that moment, Amud Eish, Amud Onam Boim Kechad, a pillar of fire and a pillar of a cloud came at together at that moment. And on the pillar of cloud there was a very big eagle. Right, and then with one of his wings were on top of the pillar of fire, and that was his right wing. And in Kapsos Anan, right, and his left wing was on top of the pillar of cloud. Also, maybe Stalin Bafia, and that eagle used to bring two leaves in its mouth. And now the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire, and Vahanesher and the eagle. They all bow down to Shlomo. Now the eagle gave Shlomo those two leaves. Omerech ben Shlomo, and Shlomo would smell those leaves. Vayodeh b'hem simen chachma, vaya omer zeh shenofel v'zeh shel golu einayim. Right, and now he used to know signs of wisdom, and he said, "This is a nofel, and this is of golu einayim, open eyes." These are, terms of of prophetic revelation that actually Bilam complimented himself with. So at that moment, Shlomo sealed his throne with a seal of the Shem Amforash, Ubiado Nota Tabas, right? And in his hand he takes a ring, Verochev al Nefsher, and he would fly on the Volechlo, and he would go fly and go, the eagle would fly and take him to a whole bunch of destinations. Ubechol makom over Shlomo Melech ala gesher ala nesher, and every place that Shlomo Melech passed over while riding on the back of the eagle. Over Khan Uporech Nesher test passes. So any place that Shlomo passed over with the eagle was obviously dark because of the great shadow cast by this big eagle that Shlomo was riding. And the wise people, who paid attention. In fact, all of a sudden it got overcast. Right, Shlomo over Khan. Shlomo must be passing over on his eagle now. And then the eagle flew like 400 parsa. To reach the mountains of darkness. Shamhu Tarmud Bamidbar is a place called Tarmud in the desert. Vudichas Bosam Harim. Right, he used to go into those mountains. From that place in the mountain's darkness, he knew all the external wisdoms, all the sciences, all the outside wisdoms, meaning the sciences. Wherever he knew, he learned it to the extent that he needed to know it. Because he came back and he rode on the eagle Yoshev, and he sat Ubala Kiso. He sat against a stone. Valzen Neymar. And that's what he said, goes, V'shafti v'era, Ratzal Mashafti v'elskom shalachti. That's what it says in Koheles. And I came back and I saw that's also vanity, and that's also Hevel. Where did he come back from? He said V'shafti, I came back. Meaning he traveled and he went to, the wizards, the wise men of across the globe, and he indeed went and he really looked at the other wisdoms and came back to his place in Yerushalayim and said, Gam Hevel. Okay. Vol b'sefer Shmos daf nun daled on beis, and I'm guessing that Sarge said he wants us to learn Zohar in general because of old schoolers. This Zohar is talking about the Maal Sator because at the end, as Shalom Melch says, after having first-hand experience and first-hand knowledge, that everything else is hevel except for Torah. All right, so entry of Gibel. Let's say for Shmos daf nun daled on beis. Let's say for Shmos nun daled on beis. Call me Shomer Shiras Oz Yashir B'chol Yom B'Kavar Shem Zohar V'Amar. Anyone who says Oz Yashir, Oz Yashir Moshe Shir Sayam every day with complete kavanas is Zohar to say it in the future. Shreish Ba Dvarim Shel Olam Hazeh V'Olam Haba Mashiach, because it has things in it encoded it, and not just of Olam Hazeh but also of Olam Haba and also Mashiach. Like Chazal Darsh, like Rashi brings Oz Yashir Moshe. It's talking about the future tense by Tchias HaMesim. Moshe will sing again. So it talks about, and these are psukim of Torah. It has encoded in it things that pertain to this world, things that pertain and things in this world in the future, like Ad Yavram Chashem Avazon Kadisa, Chazal Darshan, Advam Hashem. That's our first coming to Israel. Advam Zu Kadisa. That was the second coming, the days of Ezra. So it talks about prophetically all future events, including Tchias HaMesim and including Olam Haba and including Yemos HaMashiach. Okay. Mem Dalet. Kol Sefer Shmos Daf Kuf Lamed Beis Amud Aleph. So in Sefer Shmos Daf Kuf Beis Aleph it says, Ma'al Samacham B'Shir Azos. So once we're talking about Shir Sayam, so it talks over there about all the milos of someone who has kavana in this Shira. Ki Kishom Shir Azos B'Chol Yom. Because when we say this Shira every day, when I can understand why it made its way to Psukei de Zimra, when we say Shira Sayam every day, Amisol gets a crown that is engraved with divine names. Because also and that crown that we get adorned with when we say Shira Sayam is the same crown that Kosh is going to put on the head of Mashiach. Anyone who has kavana in this Shira every day is going to be zocher to see the face of Mashiach. But it's only if you have kavana. If you say it, but you don't have kavana, you're not going to be zocher to see Mashiach. All right now with what's going on in the world, we definitely want to see Mashiach. So here we just learned a big thing. I'm a B'li Neder. I'm going to take this on to say Shira Sayom with kavana, right? To see Pnei Mashiach. So now when we say Yishtabach, which comes right after Shir, we go into Yishtabach, and how we end off Psukei Zimra. So we say the 13 midas, right? 13 attributes. Vehem, and they are Shir, Ushvacha, Hallel, Vizimra, Oz, Umemshala, Netzach, Gedula, Gvura, Atila, V'Siferes, Kedusha, Umalchus. 13. Right, notice here between Ashkenaz and Sfard, right? All 13. Mafsik b'midar b'nem mitachas kanfe akruvim yotze shavzcha v'kor b'chayav ma'apol yivzik b'galavas akoshko kazali b'ayavashem. So anyone who speaks in between any of these 13, because 13 by no coincidence echad, right? So you have to be ma'ached all these 13. Anyone who speaks, in between any of these shvachos of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so there's a out from under the wings of the Kruvim Shemai comes one fire, and it's accompanied by a divine voice and said so and so, made a hefsek when talking about the greatness of God, let him be cut off, right, and let him not merit to see the greatness of Hashem in the future. All right, so Shira Sayam and the Chashivas of Yishtabach. All right, entry Memhei. Right, because of Sefer Bamidbar, Daf Reshon Chesam Adav, so it says Sefer Bamidbar, Reshon Chesam Adav being Kriya Shema. So it's talking about the power of Kriya Shema. Anyone who unifies the name of heaven with Kavana. Simcha Muchaso, Akoshko is preparing some great joy for him. Milumala, from above. Varaya mikriya shmatzah. You could see a indication of this from kriya shmatzah. Shema echad. So from pasuk Shema you saw Hashem, okay, Hashem echad, right? So the ayin v'dal stos. So the ayin of Shema is very large, and the dalit of the way it's written in the Torah scroll. The ayin of Shema is large, and the dalit of echad is also big, right? Remez aid, a witness. Nishur also shemem aleph ches remez esma Hashem. So now what's left over? So everyone puts the emphasis on, because when you say Shema, you're being made about a kosher, you're testifying that he's one, and that's why you have to say it with tefillin, because the tefillin is you swear by the tefillin on you that Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So everyone puts the emphasis on the ayin and the dal. You're testifying. Aid. The Zohar is saying but also look at the letters that were left small. So from the word Shema, Shin and Mem were left small, and from the word Echad, Aleph and Ches were left small. So it's Oisius Esmach, Remaz Esmach Ba'Hashem. So Esmach, I will be happy. So the guy who says Shema is made on Achdas Hashem will have Simcha. Will have say because letters that are left small from Shema and Echad. So the big letters are Eid, and the small letters are Esmach. The one who says Eid is going to have Simcha in the future. Yeah. Okay, Memvav. Right. So entry Memvav, Kasef for Vayikra already paid out on base. So it says in the Zohar Vayikra, paid out on base. Matzil Shaser is Kasef Lashi Yachid. It's very strange. Aser which all Am Yisrael heard, right? At least they were meant to hear all 10, not just the first 2 dibros, right? But all said B'Lashon Yachid. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, not Elokechem. Bishara talks to Hashem, but most of the Torah is written B'Lashon Rabim when the assembly of Israel is being addressed. So why is it the Aseres Dibros B'Lashon Yachid? Batam Shalom Tzalolam B'Yisrael Shu B'Levra Kamo Osayam Shalom Du B'Sinai Achdus. Because Am Yisrael B'Arsha was Ki'ish Echad B'Lev Echad. So that's why HaKadosh spoke to the whole assembly B'Lashon Yachid, because they were Ki'ish Echad B'Lev Echad. That's a Zohar. Okay, we'll do one more. Then it's Erev Shabbos. I'm going to have to run. Just have to run to learn with someone else. I have to squeeze this in on this Erev Shabbos. Okay, so Mem Zayin, Kosev Sefer Bereshis, Dafresh Chavav Amid Beis, or Zen Bereshis, Beis Chavav Beis, Kol Mitzvahs Heim Nasos Malbush Echad. Right, Yeshua also Vush Yakar, Yeshua also Vush Yakar Lo Lamazeh. Mitzvahs make spiritual garments for us. That's also what we allude to in the in Tefillah before we put on the Taz Ezke about Chalukah D'Rabban Olam Haba, and we zog to the Chalukah. The Chalukah D'Rabban is the garments made out of mitzvahs. The neshama without mitzvahs is naked, right? Naked, and the mitzvahs give it like clothes to wear, so it shouldn't be ashamed to go to the different chambers in heaven that it was as we're ashamed to go to before it was ever born. So the mitzvahs give us spiritual garments. So there's some mitzvahs. So every mitzvah actually makes a garment. So there are mitzvahs that make a levush yakarion. There's certain mitzvahs that give you this very heavenly, garments of glory. There's also levush yakarion, but there's some mitzvahs that give you a garment for this world. Whether it's added protection, added chain. Right. Right, man needs all these garments. You can't say, okay, I did a few mitzvahs, so I'm dressed enough. Like, no. If you don't have all the garments, you don't have all the garments of all the Taryag mitzvahs. How can we Mekayim all Taryag mitzvahs? We had that in the Reishis Chachma, because you have to be lomed amanas lasos as if you did it. You are considered, naked. Like it's not like it's not like. All right, that mitzvahs are garments. There's sort of like a minimal amount of garments that you're not embarrassed. Like minimal amount of that give you like a bathrobe, so you're not embarrassed if someone walks into your house and say you're just embarrassed to go outside. Okay, so it'll be like it's like a t-shirt and a pair of pants, and now you're not embarrassed to go outside either. Just not no. It's you need all of them, otherwise you are considered naked in one way or another. Maybe should so no one really knows the secret, fully of these the all the why all the mitzvahs are necessary to give you all these garments and why these garments are all necessary. Ma'aser Vito Saba Shiro B'chom Or Gadol. As a Ma'aser, the Zohar goes on to say, Ma'aser Vito Saba, that they showed him in a dream a very great light. V'shol Ma'azeh asked, "What's that great light?" V'amrulo. And they told him, "What's that great light?" That is this is the garments of your mitzvahs that you're going to wear. These are the mitzvahs that are made for the next world. Like we said, there certain mitzvahs make garments that you put on when you put on those garments when you go to heaven. And look, this is the garments, the light of the garments, the malbushim that you have for the olam ha'elyon, right? For that day, he was so happy seeing the power of mitzvahs, the one wonderful, malbushe covered that it gives you. And like I said, the neshama without these mitzvahs is considered naked, right? It's embarrassed, so the mitzvah is just like it makes you, it takes you out of namana kisufa, it gives you that pride. So that pride is also expressed in the fact that you have clothes that you're proud and you're not embarrassed to be seen in any given chamber of heaven if you're mashlim all the mitzvahs. Okay, it's an Erev Shabbos, so anyone's listening live, have a good Shabbos, everybody. Signing off.